Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kazanthi here, and today I'm going to be building a starter home. So this is built in a 30 by 30 lot. We'll see the price at the end, sorry I can't remember off the top of my head. And I am building in Forgotten Hollow. I don't know why, well I do know why. Originally I had thought of doing something more wintry, maybe a bit darker, but I took, I think, maybe too much inspiration from the Pinterest photo I'd been using, and the build kind of ran away from me into a more colourful exterior, I guess you could say. I did check to see how this build looks in winter, and I would say it then suits the Forgotten Hollow aesthetic a bit more. So you'll see that in the screenshots, and I do think it kind of works. But also I know it's a weird choice. I don't know why. I think Forgotten Hollow was very forgotten about. Haha. Enjoy the joke, the bad dad joke there. But I think the lots are good, the lighting's good. I really like the mountains, and yeah, I just like the landscaping of the world as well. So you'll probably see me building here a lot because I do enjoy it. So yeah, but yeah, this is going to be a 2-bedroom home, 1 bathroom though. So the bedrooms are on the first floor, and all the living spaces are on the ground floor. Right now I'm building this porch with the trellis, which is something I've picked up from watching just loads of YouTube videos, and I think it is the best way to have a pergola. There is a pergola that comes with the game. I'm not sure which pack it's from. Maybe it's Romantic Garden stuff, but I think that works, but obviously it's very static. It's not, you can't change it other than the colour swatches, so most of the time I probably will be using this trick with the fence tool, and I don't know how to describe the swatch it is. It's like sort of ground trim, like it's a fence that is literally on the ground, and people use it to make trellises and line the tops of buildings as well, and sort of make, not cornices, but you get what I'm saying, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, you can see that I'm figuring out the floor plan. The way I did it was mainly just focusing on where the stairs could fit and how I wanted them to look, and then I built around that. So we end up with the sort of conservatory entryway, and then a hallway that has a door into the living room and the kitchen. And then there's this hallway I'm making right now that has the entrances into the bathroom and the utilities room. I did cut out quite a lot of footage because it was like, I think it took me about 4 hours to build this. And unfortunately as well, I missed some footage when it got corrupted, because I forgot to press stop recording before turning off my computer. So unfortunately I wasn't able to edit the last bit of decorating and clutter, but you will see everything in the screenshots. And you can also download this build because it is under the gallery. I think I labelled it as Musician Family Home. Admittedly, it's not got, you know, a separate recording studio or anything, which would have probably authenticated that title a bit more, but that was my idea as I was going through decorating. Was it turned out that the parents were like musicians and, I don't know, songwriters, kind of that type of thing, and have I imagined as a daughter, but one child who is about 16, 17, kind of aspiring to go to uni, but we'll get into that later. So to sort of make the pergola over the porch, the front porch, look a bit more natural, I used those base game tool green bushes and wrapped them round, one of them round the columns on the porch, and then I kind of sized down a few bushes and layered them all on top of one another to make it seem as if the stairs had foliage growing into them almost, and it was really just all encompassing over the porch there. Also with the terrain painting, I chose I think I've used this quite a lot now. Like I said in a previous video, it's all kind of blurred together at the moment because I'm doing all this pre-recording, so I'm just literally swiping onto the next. It's like, there's no thought, it's just go, go, go. But I really adore that terrain paint of the stones with the primrose underneath. That's with the cottage living pack. I just think it's the cutest. I love flowers. As you're about to see, I'm about to go bananas on flowers here, which I find really sad that they don't have flowers which show up in the winter season, because when I turned this to winter, obviously all the bushes and all the landscaping, apart from the trees, became just stalks, and like, which is a bit silly because not everything dies in winter, and you do get, I'm pretty sure, perennial flowers that do bloom in the winter as well. But again, I'll take what I can get. So I've just sort of layered a lot of, I think about 3 swatches of the flowers up, rotated them around to make it not seem so static and a bit more organic, and then I've used a couple of lavender bushes in the centre as well. Now you've seen me start with the trellis plants, so I used the bougainvillias. I don't know how to pronounce this word. The bougainvillias, yeah, from Island Living. They're honestly my favourite, probably, of all, apart from the wisteria. They're probably my favourite creeper of all the creeping plants you get. I just used the 9 and 0 keys to raise up the wall swatches, and again used the various like the 3 varieties you get, and resized them, and also the low-lying ones I resized to make it seem a bit less static is the only word again coming to mind, but just more organic, more natural looking, because obviously on the wall version of the bougainvillias, they are very dense compared to the low-lying ones. So in order to kind of match them up a bit, I had to size down the low-lying ones, because then the flowers look a lot more they're a lot denser in terms of how close they are to one another. And I think that, sorry, I keep hitting the mic. I think that's what sort of brought it together. I also used the ivy from the university pack, but unfortunately I forgot at this point that I had to place windows down on the ground floor. I placed them on the upper floor, the first floor, and then you can see me moving them here and just, again, resizing everything so it works a bit better. Because these 2 windows, which I think later on become 4 windows, are under the pergola, they don't get light in them anyway, so it doesn't really matter about the ivy, and I think the light doesn't shine onto the lot to go through this window that you see here, the larger one. But anywho, so as you saw earlier, I built this fence, so there is a fenced-in garden. They have a patio which has all the works. There's a patio table, and then as you see, I'm building now the grill and a cooking area / bar area. I use the country kitchen kit counters, so I like the worn look on them. That kind of again brought some authenticity to having cabinets outside that were made of wood. Obviously they would get worn over time and you'd need to paint them and upkeep them a lot more than those that you have inside. And with the bar area, I just kind of, it was mainly, 1, because it filled the space so well, and 2, because that meant I could get 4 more seats out here. So I kind of imagine that these parents, who are composers, songwriters, are very outgoing and kind of not so much dance to the beat of their own drum, but like they don't fit in with social norms, maybe. So I imagine that they hadn't gone through like all education, you know, like maybe they did school and then dropped out, whereas their kid wanted to go all the way to uni and everything. I added the dog, like the toy box with pets, and I'm pretty sure there is a pet bowl in the kitchen that I add later, but it's in the footage that I lost, so I'm not too sure, and I did record this a while ago, so but I mean, that's a simple fix. You just place a pet bowl somewhere. You could maybe fit it in the second hallway as well if it doesn't work in the kitchen. These 2 bikes as well become 3 later on, because I realised the 3 Sims living here. And this is actually also the first time that I use the laundry stuff kit as like the full range of items. So you've got the washing line outside, you've got the machines on the inside, but otherwise that's pretty much the garden done. I just went with so I was really stuck for what to do. So I just went with things that sort of filled up the space and needed space as well. So that's why I added in the second fence, so the chickens don't run around the whole garden. I don't know if like pets attack chickens as well, so I thought I'd keep them safe. And then there's also the insect home and beehive. So you've got some, and as well as the eco lifestyle small planter boxes. So there are some more kind of country skill building items there, and again, I like I said, I imagine these parents to be quite independent and very much not following social norms, so they're like organically growing their own food or having their own eggs or something, I don't know, and like their own honey or something like that. But yeah, so I think I go through and I put this flooring everywhere. This is from the Snowy Escape kit, and then in the bathroom I use quite a bit of the Spa Day stuff pack. And as you can see here, I'm also using Jungle Adventure. So this build does have a variety of packs. Like with my first one, I didn't want to limit myself at all. It does cost quite a bit. It's, I think, around 150,000 simoleons, if I remember. But I'll have all this in the description box anyway, so don't worry. And again, with the dining room, I kind of had a hard time finding swatches for it. It's like with the kitchen, I was just like, tile. And again, I went with green. I'm so annoyed. I've brought a green pink sort of thing in again, and there's going to be a time. It's going to be a time when neither of them appear in a build, but it's not today. But yeah, like I was saying, with the dining room, I had a bit of a hard time figuring out what to do. So I thought maybe at first I could use a feature wall with a stone coming through, and then maybe but I didn't want to, I was hesitant to paint the whole thing the same, use the same wallpaper throughout. And then I thought maybe I use paneling or like a plaster. Instead, at the end, like you can see, I've just gone with doing the whole thing all over. Doing this bathroom though was really fun. Unfortunately, I did have to change the shower that you'll see me put in later because it didn't work with how I had to scoot it over. But the bathroom wallpaper was really fun to do. I at first used the stone swatch from the Batuu, like Star Wars pack, the one with the lines going horizontally, sorry. But instead I went with the plaster kind of stone from that same pack, because I was like, it looks a bit easier on the eye here, it's not too out there, but I would like to use that same, if you know the one I'm talking about, the horizontal stone from Star Wars Journey to Batuu, I would like to use that at some point in a bathroom, or like maybe a spa, maybe some sort of futuristic spa where, I don't know, I'm imagining kind of like 2000s sci-fi film weird decor, but for a spa. So I don't know, maybe that'll be an idea I write down. But the first thing I decorate is the hallway on the inside. I kind of imagined the conservatory that you see to the left here as an extension. And unfortunately I lost the footage of me decorating that, but again, you'll see it in the screenshots. The hallway was pretty quick. It was just the table, the picture, and the rug, and then later on I put some clutter on the entry table. For the kitchen, I went again with the Snowy Escape counters, and I think the fridge is also Snowy Escape, but the oven definitely is. And I found the matching cabinets, overhead cabinets for the counters. I found the matching ones that also had a green swatch on them, with the wood tone being a bit more neutral, and I enjoyed that a bit more than the base swatch. I think you see me here do it. I just think it tied a bit better with the tile, and yeah, there we go. and like the fridge and everything, it just made it a bit more neutral, a bit calmer, because the green's quite a cool colour, so having a neutral wood, or even neutral and cool toned wood, so the like many tones going on in here, it just looked a lot better. I cut out all the footage of me cluttering this up because for some reason when I went to playtest, the sim refused to cook food in the kitchen, even though there was a counter space free to make food and there was nothing obstructing the oven and the hob. He refused to do it, and he would go outside every time, so I just deleted like half the clutter. So you'll see what the final look of the kitchen is in the screenshots, but yeah, that's the reason why I cut out so much footage. And then for the dining room, again, I just kind of kept it simple. At first I was going to use quite a few cabinets, but it just got a bit too hectic, and I decided to keep with 2 sideboards and 1 table. And it, like, there's nothing really to explain there. I just kept with the green theme again. And then in the living room, this is where the pink comes through, and just so annoyed that I keep doing it, because I really don't mean to. It's just, I think, like, I forget every time. I'm like, oh, that looks nice, and then when I'm editing, I'm like, Xanthi, really? Like, come on. But yeah, so for the hallways, I did keep it very neutral aside from the rugs. Maybe I should have used the same runner rug in the first hallway as this one, but it's done now. And I think at one point, yeah, about here, I layered this one that I've selected now, this group of photos, with that first one I put down. You can see like the tiny one goes inside, so it's the only way I could get them to fit together. And then I kind of filled some gaps in with other portraits and paintings that once were singular. But yeah, back to the bathroom. Like I said, I really enjoyed building this one because I didn't just slot in a shower. I actually used at first the Snowy Escape shower, and then I changed it to the university one later. Because of the mirror, it was... So I put a fence in here, and then I changed the shower to be on that back wall, the stone wall, but the same one the door's on. And when I put pillars in to make it look a bit more complete, because I lower the floor where the shower is down into a platform, which I think, again, it maybe is lost in the footage, that I couldn't like, it was really weird. I couldn't edit it. It could play, and I couldn't fast forward or anything or edit it. But yeah, the mirror would clip into the pillar, so I would scoot it over. I scooted it over, but then the sim can access the shower, so yeah, I just changed it for the university one to make my life a bit easier. But yeah, and then you see here, pink again, pink rug. But yeah, just adding some clutter here. I've remembered the loo paper as well, which is good. And I think I also got rid of the utilities room because, I mean, it's such a small space. It's kind of, you put things where they fit. I will say, though, that in the footage I lost, what I did was I brought in a lot of that wooden beam from, I think it's Eco Lifestyle. And I put it in the utilities room. I put the frame with the ivy on the inside in the lounge, and also in the conservatory / first entryway. I put a lot of it there as well, which I think was also using the wooden panels from Snowy Escape. And I kind of make like a custom mirror with just game content and sizing things up and down and stuff. The TV I put here as well, I do get rid of, because I decided, in honor of Footloose, where the dad makes his, like the OG Footloose, not that remake one, you know, the dad makes the daughter listen to classical music. I thought these parents are like that. Like, they're good parents, but they're very much kind of forcing their values onto their child, and that's where they, you know, kind of butt heads and stuff. But yeah, so the TV goes, and then the child's room or young adult's room, whichever, if you want to make Sims of the Cells, they have a TV in their room, which again was lost in the footage. That didn't work. So yeah, unfortunately the end of this video will be a very abrupt one. It kind of just stops halfway through me doing the kids' room, but you will see the final look in all the screenshots, and also again you can download the build because it is under my hashtag. No, it's not. It's under my EA Origin ID thing, Kazanthi_444 like usual. And yeah, so you can have a little look for yourself if you're interested. I use a lot of Dream Home Decorator as well in this build, so a lot like the cabinets. I went to make the modular cabinets here, which I don't think I'd ever done before, so it was quite interesting. I would like to do like a whole walk-in wardrobe at some point, but I just didn't feel like I had the right space for it in this build. The parents' room's quite simple. It's just the beds and then the wardrobes. They've got the mirror that I put at the side, and then they've got one stereo and one record player basically. I do also change the wallpaper because I just didn't like that other one. It was too, I don't know, it was too pale. It was too, I want to say like a weak, you know, it wasn't a very strong, vibrant wallpaper that caught your eye. But I think if we're going to add anything to the banned list of things that I can't touch or shouldn't do, it's going to be this banana leaf wallpaper, because I think I've used it about 3 times now. It's just a lot. But yeah, I love it. It's so, I think it's like one of the most creative swatches of wallpaper in the entire game. I say that, but I haven't got like any of the new stuff. I really need to get the Maximalist kit, because I want to do some like apartment renovations, but with maximalism as the aesthetic. So yeah, here you see me putting in the stereo and the record player, or gramophone rather maybe, and then I add the pets, which a dog's bed, but I guess, I don't know, can cats sleep on dog beds? I guess so. I add the pet bed into here as well. And also when I was putting these shoes down, I was questioning it myself, because I thought this is like the first floor, you have to, but you could come up straight from the entryway with your shoes on. I mean, I do that, but then our carpet's really old in our house, so That's why I wear my shoes around the house, because we're like, we don't get them, they're too old. So maybe, I don't know, I feel like that's not going to be the case though in this build. But yeah, so slight ick aside, I'm just finishing up this room with some clutter. So there's no large bookshelf in this build, but I have got the bookshelf books, like just the stack of books on the right there, so you can again access the bookshelf catalogue. And then yeah, just using some of the clutter books as well. I think that's it. Oh yeah, just the plant, and again I still haven't downloaded the red gel, so I'm just kind of using the trick where you snap things to one of the slots on a surface and then moving the surface away and putting the thing back into where, like as you see me doing there. This is where I put the pet bed down. I feel like this whole build's been such a rush, so crazy. And now we are moving on to the kids or young adults' bedroom. So I do use a lot of stuff from the university pack in this room, because I feel the storyline for me was really much was very much that this sim had maybe visited one of the uni institutions and decided which one they wanted to go to, and looked at the dorms and thought, I'm gonna use like that as inspiration for decorating my room. So that's my reasoning behind using this. And yeah, so at first I was going to have 2 desks with one just full of paperwork and books and stuff, because I'm imagining they're quite young and they're revising for exams that will help them get into uni or something. But eventually that second desk goes away because I just couldn't clutter it up properly. I just didn't have the patience without the red shelf. To decorate this room I mainly used loads of decal art, so everything pink, and just slotted it all on top of one another. I used the paw prints here because I kind of imagined that this sim wants to be a vet or looking after animals in some way, but they definitely in my mind were more of a scientist, like scientifically interested sim, unlike their parents who are more artistic and culturally interested in things. But yeah, this is kind of coming towards the end of the build. The screenshots are coming up soon, so I hope you enjoy, because you'll be able to see some things that you won't have seen. And that's what it looks like at night as well. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!